In today's video, we delve into a pivotal topic as conservation efforts face a significant setback: the abrupt termination of the 30 by 30 plan by the Trump administration. This initiative aimed to protect 30% of U.S. lands and waters by 2030 but has now been thrown into jeopardy, sparking debate on the future of environmental preservation. We'll explore the implications of this decision, examining the contrasts between Biden's push for a new era in conservation and the Trump administration's deregulatory approach. Join us as we unpack the far-reaching effects on wildlife, public lands, and the ongoing discourse surrounding environmental priorities in America. 1. Understanding the 30 by 30 plan. The 30 by 30 Conservation Initiative was a groundbreaking effort aimed at preserving 30% of U.S. lands and waters by the year 2030. Its primary goal was to combat the twin challenges of biodiversity loss and climate change, which have been increasingly pressing issues globally. By safeguarding such a significant portion of the nation's natural resources, the plan hoped to ensure the survival of countless species and maintain ecological balance. Supporting this initiative was seen as a necessary step in addressing environmental crises and fostering sustainable ecosystems. It was widely supported by environmental groups, scientists, and many political leaders who saw it as a vital measure for the future. Understanding its scope, the 30 by 30 plan was not just about setting aside land. It was about fostering a relationship between humans and nature that emphasized coexistence and mutual benefit. 2. Biden's executive order. A new era in conservation. In January 2021, President Joe Biden marked a significant moment in environmental policy with an executive order committing to the 30 by 30 conservation goal. This move represented a stark shift from previous administrations, signaling a renewed focus on environmental preservation and sustainability. Biden's decision was celebrated by environmentalists and conservationists who saw it as a long overdue commitment to protecting the nation's natural resources. This executive order was not merely symbolic, it came with actionable strategies and clear goals that aimed to bring about real change. By prioritizing the health of ecosystems, Biden's administration sought to address the urgent needs of the environment, ensuring that future generations would inherit a planet worth living on. This commitment was a beacon of hope for those who had been advocating for stronger environmental protections. 3. The America the Beautiful report. Following the executive order, the Biden administration released the Conserving and Restoring America the Beautiful report. This document outlined a comprehensive strategy for achieving the 30 by 30 target through inclusive, locally driven conservation efforts. The report emphasized collaboration with local communities, indigenous tribes, and various stakeholders to ensure that conservation efforts were both effective and equitable. By focusing on local solutions, the administration aimed to empower communities to take charge of their environmental destinies, fostering a sense of ownership and responsibility. The report also highlighted the importance of science-based approaches and traditional ecological knowledge in formulating conservation strategies. By presenting a clear roadmap, the America the Beautiful report served as a guide for achieving the ambitious 30 by 30 goals. 4. Trump administration's stance on conservation. Under the Trump administration, the focus shifted significantly towards energy development, often at the expense of conservation. Environmental regulations were rolled back, and policies were enacted that prioritized fossil fuel extraction on public lands. This approach was rooted in the belief that energy dominance was vital for economic growth and national security. However, it often led to conflicts with conservationists who were concerned about the long-term impacts on ecosystems and biodiversity. By promoting drilling, mining, and logging, the administration opened previously protected areas to industrial activities, raising alarms among environmental groups. This stance was emblematic of a broader trend towards deregulation, which many feared could have irreversible consequences for the environment. 5. Project 2025. A conservative vision. Project 2025, developed by conservative groups, outlined a future vision that included dismantling environmental policies like the 30 by 30 conservation goal. The project favored increased resource extraction as a means of economic prosperity, often at the cost of environmental health. By abandoning conservation efforts, Project 2025 aimed to boost industries such as oil, gas, and mining, arguing that these sectors were crucial for job creation and energy independence. Critics, however, warned that such an approach could lead to severe ecological degradation and hinder efforts to combat climate change. The project highlighted a stark divide in environmental policy, with competing visions for the nation's natural resources and their management. 6. Potential reversal of conservation efforts. The potential return of the Trump administration raised concerns about the reversal of Biden's 30 by 30 initiatives. Emphasizing energy dominance, a renewed focus on reducing protected lands could significantly impact conservation efforts. Environmentalists feared that the progress made under Biden could be undone, leading to increased habitat loss and further endangerment of species. The prospect of rolling back protections also sparked debates about the balance between economic growth and environmental stewardship. If the 30 by 30 plan were to be dismantled, it could have lasting repercussions on efforts to combat climate change and preserve biodiversity. Such a reversal would highlight the fragility of environmental policies in the face of changing political landscapes. 7. Environmental deregulation under Trump. During Trump's tenure, policies were implemented that reduced protections for endangered species and opened up previously protected areas to industrial activities. The administration argued that these measures were necessary to streamline regulations and promote economic growth. However, environmentalists and conservationists warned that such deregulation could lead to irreversible damage to ecosystems and wildlife habitats. By prioritizing short-term economic gains over long-term environmental health, the administration faced criticism from those who believed that conservation and development could coexist. The reduction in protections raised serious concerns about the future of endangered species and the overall health of the nation's ecosystems. 8. Impact on public land. Under Trump, the Bureau of Land Management offered millions of acres of public land for oil, gas, and mining leases. These leases were often provided at low costs to energy companies, sparking debates about the true value of public lands. While proponents argued that such measures were necessary for energy independence, critics highlighted the environmental costs of increased resource extraction. The sale of these lands for industrial use often led to habitat destruction and fragmentation, threatening the biodiversity of affected areas. Public lands, which hold immense ecological and cultural value, became battlegrounds for competing interests, reflecting the ongoing tension between conservation and development. 9. Alaska resource development. The Trump administration made significant efforts to boost oil and gas drilling, mining, and logging in Alaska. Areas like the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge faced increased pressures from industrial activities, drawing opposition from environmental groups. These groups argued that the pristine landscapes of Alaska were invaluable and should be preserved for future generations. The administration, however, viewed resource development in Alaska as an opportunity to harness untapped economic potential. This stance led to conflicts between conservationists and industry advocates, each presenting differing visions for the region's future. The debate over Alaska's resources underscored broader questions about the balance between economic development and environmental preservation. 10. Environmentalists' concerns. Conservationists have consistently warned that dismantling the 30 by 30 plan and other environmental protections could exacerbate biodiversity loss and hinder efforts to combat climate change. The potential abandonment of conservation goals has raised alarms about the future health of the planet and the survival of countless species. Environmentalists argue that protecting natural resources is not just about preserving beauty but ensuring the stability of ecosystems that humans rely on. The loss of biodiversity, they suggest, could lead to unforeseen consequences, affecting everything from food security to climate regulation. As debates continue, the voices of conservationists remain crucial in advocating for sustainable and balanced approaches to resource management.